Today, I want to challenge something that I constantly hear in the DJ world, that the market is saturated, that there are too many DJs, that it's impossible to break through. I'm going to tell you why it's completely wrong and what the actual problem is. Let's get into it. Everyone says the DJ market is saturated. Is it actually true, or is that just an excuse? No markets are ever saturated. Markets are saturated by angles. Marketing angles, which means that in the music industry, if you do not stand out, if you are just a copycat of another DJ and you don't have your own way to exist in that market, yes, you're just gonna keep feeding that saturation. But if you're truly yourself, if you stand out, if you make your own music, then that segment of the market, which is for you, which is owning your lane, will find you. Therefore, the market isn't saturated for you. But DJs have no personalities, they have no brand, they are just wanting to be the same as John Summit, as Martin Garrix. Yes, these guys have no chance. But if you know that you're unique, that you have something to say that nobody is actually saying, the market isn't saturated for you. You just have to find a way to tell that story to people, and that's it. Your own story. There's only one person that has your story. No one can replicate it. So trying to fit in, trying to think that the approach is like, that is working right now, I'm gonna do that, then it's gonna work. It's not the best strategy. It is not the best strategy. Trust me, I've been there for like 20 years. And what I've seen working is always like these guys who come in with something new, okay? And then people that find this an opportunity for them because it's something that is really also close to who they are, gravitate around that new thing. But if you're trying to force it and trying to be like, it will never work out. So you just gotta be yourself. You just gotta find a way to make sure that you find the segment of the market that is for you. Okay? So markets aren't saturated. Why do most DJs look and sound exactly the same, and why is that more dangerous than any amount of competition? Yeah, so basically that's what I've been saying, is that if you think that the best strategy is to sound like someone because people are into that sound, you're just gonna be forcing something that's not gonna happen for you. And you're competing with people who have an advantage because they're truly that thing when you're not. So you're not gonna beat someone that is more inclined than you to fit, let's say, that new movement, that new thing that's happening. For you, it's gonna be owning your own stuff.
Quick break. If you're a DJ and you feel stuck, not getting bookings, not growing on Instagram, not sure what to do next, I might have something that can help you. I just launched Highbloo DJ University, where I teach exactly what I'm doing right now as I rebuild my DJ career. How to grow your DJ Instagram, how to get a fully booked calendar, and how to build a brand that actually works. It's a YouTube channel with tons of free content. Link is in the description. Now back to the conversation.
Most DJs think their job is to play good music. What's their actual job? Well, I think that DJs are supposed to be curator who make people discover music. Now, DJing has turned into something else. So depending on how you call that DJ thing, but let's talk about the business side of DJing. If you want to become like a world touring DJ, right now your job is to be a content creator. You know, you have to connect to people, create content for people that makes them interested, that gets them their attention, and build a story around that. So meaning you have your own story, you create a brand around that story, who you are, right? And then you make sure that everything you do tells that story, but the content should be about themselves, about the audience, you know? So if you take my Instagram page that I grew from like 800 to now 24K followers in like 5 months, what I did is I took time to actually think of where my brand was headed, you know, what I wanted my sound to be as I'm rebuilding. And so once I was clear on the direction, then I was clear on the brand, and therefore I could create content around telling the story of where that brand is heading. And so I did samples because funk disco influenced music in house music uses samples. All right, so how to get people attention and tell my brand story? Well, I'll make some kind of like sample reveal kind of thing, and so people would be like, wow, I didn't know about that. So you create a wow effect. You know, you just like sell knowledge, information, which, and it actually makes you look good even, although what I'm just doing is going to who sampled, okay, and finding the ones that make sense based off who I am as a person, as a brand, as a DJ, and I just share them. So I'm not doing something extraordinary, but maybe for people who don't know the process, they think, wow, this guy knows all these samples, he goes and search for them. So first, I'm creating perception. I appear as an expert. Second, they get wow effect, they get information, and it tells the story of my brand. And they don't even know about it, but it tells something about me in my music. And I did that before releasing my first track, which today I am actually releasing. I mean, I'm starting to promote, and that track is funk disco sample house music. So everything I did made sense. Most DJs post content about themselves. Why is that killing their growth? Yeah, so as I said, you should 90% of the time make content for people. Your brand, any brand, is about people. It's never about the brand itself or you. It's always about people, you know, and how they connect with the brand, how they identify with the brand, you know. And if you look at like Nike or Apple, their tagline, let's say Nike, it's just do it. So just do it. Do it. Okay? It's about them. Apple, think different. It's about thinking different. So it's about the customers. It's always about the customers. And you want to be an Apple customer because you want to be the guy who's going to think differently. Okay, so they gain status. Okay? That means it's always about them. Whether it's the new trending thing that people want to follow because some people just like to gain that status, or buying a Ferrari because you're gonna gain the status of owning a Ferrari. Ha, I made it, I own a Ferrari. Or me, what I'm selling is like taste. I'm trying to sell taste in my brand. If you are a Highbloo fan, that means you have some sort of taste in music. It's not super underground, but it's rooted in like this whole funk, jazz, Jamiroquai, 90s music influence. So I want to identify there because I think that is more tasteful than like super mainstream stuff, although it's not like super underground. So I'm thinking about the audience, you know what I mean, which wants to like identify as someone who has taste, you know. So I'm doing content that is for them. And let's say the new track I'm like promoting right now, it's really relatable. I'm trying the lyrics to be about me, but obviously people will resonate with that. So I make sure that I use symbols, you know, that will be universal and that have the potential to resonate with them. What does it mean to own a lane, and how do you find yours? I think that is key. First, what it means is actually being so rooted in who you are that you can only be yourself, you know? And so your lane only can be replicated by yourself. How do you find yours? Well, you have to go back in your whole story, right? So I'm a jazz drummer, funk drummer, specifically funk drummer, but I say jazz because my dad is a jazz musician, so I was always like in that world. I grew up in jazz, blues, funk. I come from acoustic music, therefore non-electronic music. And so for me, it makes sense that I have to do something that has those values, you know? And from everything I'm doing now, it's like not really fitting in really some sort of label. Like it's really hard to be like, to know where I should send the track to, because it's not really, there's no label to actually like, you know, sell what I do. My brand is specific, like everything about me, I'm trying to be like as unique as possible, but I'm not trying to be unique. Like I'm trying to get closer to who I am as a person, you know what I mean? So that's how you own your lane, and that's how you can also stand out, right?
Quick break. If you're a DJ and you feel stuck, not getting bookings, not growing on Instagram, not sure what to do next, I might have something that can help you. I just launched Highbloo DJ University, where I teach exactly what I'm doing right now as I rebuild my DJ career. How to grow your DJ Instagram, how to get a fully booked calendar, and how to build a brand that actually works. It's a YouTube channel with tons of free content. Link is in the description. Now back to the conversation.
What are 3 things an unknown DJ should be doing right now to become impossible to ignore? Well, I would say the main thing is like focus on content. Like I will tell you my strategy. I am building this coaching business on the side to help other DJs to grow, okay? And I have social proof. I made it back in 2010, then I stopped. Then again, I come back, and then as you can see, if you go to see my Instagram, it's growing very fast, getting 300 followers a day, 400, sometimes 900, on average 400, 300. So I'm rebuilding. I'm proving that I can do it again. So I'm gonna help people do that again. Do that, okay? And so my strategy is to create as much content as possible, help as much DJ as possible. And then, so it's feeding this whole thing where I'm posting like now 7 times a day on Instagram, 2 times a week, 3 times a week on YouTube, okay? So the more I'm gonna do this, the more content I'll be able to post, because the more I'm gonna be able to reinvest in that same project, the more this thing is gonna be like compounding, the more the market will see me inevitably, because I'll have my face in front of the right people, because either I'm helping them, either I'm providing value with my content on Instagram. Like I'm just gonna bring so much value to the market that it's gonna be just fucking hard to ignore. I'm gonna try to build this podcast to be the #1 DJ podcast in the world. And everything that I'm attempting now is just to be in front of the right people every time. Okay? Maybe at scale, have 100 TikTok account with clips of me, having a guy who films me 24 hours 7, and content. So it's just like volume at scale, you know what I mean? And just the market can't ignore you, you know? Not everybody's gonna like me, but some people will, and it will just create something so powerful that the market can't ignore me, right? Then also launching my own label, launching my own parties, because I'm not gonna wait for someone to notice me, you know? I'm gonna create some financial profitable thing, then reinvest and create everything on my own. Okay, I'm building a business, and so it's inevitable because I'm gonna do everything myself. I'm not waiting for anybody to, you know, come and say, oh, I'm gonna manage you and we're gonna make it. No, I'm making it by myself. So maybe I'm just crazy and maybe that's overwhelming, but I would say that if you can at least, you know, post as many times as possible on Instagram, on YouTube, whatever, okay, that's already the first big step, because the more you're gonna do it, the more the market won't be able to ignore you, you know? So 3 things, what are the 3 things? So I would say that that's the main thing. There aren't 3 things, except like this won't work without the mindset and the experience of knowing how to do it. Why do DJs blame saturation instead of looking at what they're actually doing wrong? Well, because it's always easier to blame the outside world than finding the solutions to your problem. It's pretty easy. But actually, you should be held accountable 100% for your own, for your life, you know. So nothing's gonna come to save you. Nobody's gonna come to save you. Can't just wait. Just gotta fucking do it, you know. And markets aren't saturated. You're just, if you think it is, it's an excuse. And if it's not working, it's because you're doing it wrong. If you do everything right, it's gonna work, you know. So what would you say to the DJ who's genuinely talented, genuinely consistent, and still not getting traction? I would say the same thing I just said. Consistency does matter. Talent can help, but if you're consistent on the wrong things, it's not gonna work out. Like, you have to be like, I'm 36 years old and I've failed so many times and had also wins and stuff in my life. I realized that the hard work pays off kind of thing isn't about like working hard, it will pay off, because you can work hard on the wrong things and it won't pay off. But maybe the hard work pays off means you will work hard to the extent of figuring out what actually like what are the right things to be putting your energy in. And it's not unlike, and therefore that's how it pays off. And that's how it paid off for me, is that I understood business principles and how to work smarter, and knowing what are the right things I should put my energy in. Therefore, now I know that everything I'm doing isn't a waste of time. You know, I know also how to be consistent and when I should expect the results, because there are things that, you know, take more time, things that take less time. So you have to really understand what you're doing on a short, midterm, long-term plan, and where to put your energy in, how to create systems to help you have those results. Because, for instance, my Instagram account like takes me 3-4 hours of work a week, and it's getting massive, you know, followers every day, right? 400 on average. But I could be doing like other type of content that takes me like 1 day for one reel that has no outcome. You know what I mean? When this whole Instagram takes me 4 hour a week and it has a huge outcome, like a huge output, you know? So you have to be smart to like actually be lazy sometimes is like better than like thinking that you have to work harder. Like, being lazy can make you more successful than you think, you know? So always reverse engineer. Okay, how can I make something happen that is easier, but that can still like create a big outcome / output, you know? So consistency does matter, but on the wrong things, it's not gonna get you traction.
Every Wednesday, I'm live on Twitch with a new episode of In Alignment with Highbloo, the Highbloo podcast. The replay drops on YouTube and Spotify the week after. See you next Wednesday.